Hi, I'm David.
Hi, I'm Jelena.
Welcome to our YouTube channel.
Today we're going to do a pose from intermediate series. It comes towards the end of the intermediate series, GOMUKHASANA.
GOMUKHASANA. Go means
Cow.
mukha.
Isn't it upward?
No.
Face?
Yeah.
Oh. Ud. Yeah, okay.
Urdhva is upward, yeah.
Yeah.
So Gomukha is cow face pose.
Which I can't totally see.
No?
No.
No, I can see it when you do it.
Well, cows are nice and gentle creatures.
Yeah, they are actually.
Yeah.
And so are you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
All right.
So we'll go through the vinyasa count just to switch it up. And
I'll do it.
And Jelena will do it. And then we'll talk about the posture. Okay. Oh, but before we do that, have you subscribed? It's easy. You just hit that button. Yep. Well, that's a representation of you hitting that button. And have you liked? Maybe commented? Let us know what you like, what you want to see, any questions you have.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
You dragged it out long enough.
Come on. Gotta pay the bills.
All right.
Gomukhasana. From downward facing dog, sapta, inhale, you jump through, extend your legs, and then ashta, inhale, take position. So the right leg comes on top, feet come together underneath, and you interlock your fingers under your knee, chin down, nasagraya drishti, and take 5 breaths here. So that's the first position. And then the second state of the asana, nava, you reach over and catch the hands, chin up, and hold 5 breaths here. And from here, dasha, inhale, hands down, pick up. Yekadasha, chitwari. Dwadasha, inhale, upward dog. Trayodasha, exhale, go back into downward facing dog. Chaturdasha, inhale, jump through, stretch your legs out. And then panchadasha, take position. Left knee on top. Good. Feet together. Same thing, right? Interlock your fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 breaths here. Nasagraya drishti. And then shodasha. Right arm behind you, left arm over. Chin up, arch your back now. 5 breaths here. And then saptadasha, hands down, pick up. Inhale. Ashtadasha, exhale, go back. Yekuna vimshatihi, inhale. And vimshatihi, exhale. Good. Jelena's on fire.
Got a little fancy.
See the little jump thing? Which is actually part of the vinyasa.
And which today I was able to hold. It's not always that graceful. Again, all of these, I know we keep saying it, but all of this looks much more graceful when it's demonstrated in a tutorial than when it's done in an actual lead class.
Yeah, lead class, we're about guiding.
Lead class is like about survival. And then in regular Mysore class, then it kind of is something in between.
Yeah, when you can go at your own
something
pace.
between fancy and showing off and lead class survival.
Okay, so 2 states of the asana. Fairly, I would say it's accessible, but I wouldn't say it's super easy. I think people have different problems with it. I have a problem with this pose, which is getting my feet together.
Yeah, because that's actually what you want. And that makes the balance really difficult. When we cross our feet, I'll show it backwards in a second. If the feet stay apart, then it's easy to balance. But the idea is that you're really squeezing your legs. So I think if you're like us, or you're short-legged, this is a really challenging pose to, 1, get the feet together, 2, then maintain balance and kind of let the hips drop down and eventually be somewhere over the heels.
Yeah. So you start with these with the straight legs, right? Oh, sorry, no, it's fine. That's a good way. And then from here, you're going to bend. So you're pulling like the feet back on either side. So the first side, right side, the right leg is on top. The right knee is on the top of the left. Jelena's doing it backwards so you can see how the feet are coming together here behind. So you're getting your shins and your feet as close together as you can underneath you.
Yeah, like see here, no problem.
Yeah.
Easy. Here.
But you can see, go back to the open foot position. See what you can do there? You can sit down. So that makes it easy to balance too, right? Because you're sitting basically on the one heel. When you bring the feet together, you're not really gonna, your knee won't fully close there. So it's very hard to come all the way back down. You don't need to. But then the work here is drawing your sits bones and hips down. So it's like a posterior tilt. Do you see how Jelena's back here is going to flatten? Yeah, while the feet stay together. So a lot of balance. All right, you want to turn around? And the hand position is under the knee. So you're scooping under the right knee, interlocking your fingers, and then that's going to round your back a little bit, probably too. Your upper back.
If we had like a stage that spins,
Yeah, we should
so
just
much
get
easier.
one of those like lazy Susans. Just
Yeah, get it built for my size. Okay.
I see them in Chinese food restaurants. Like in the middle table. There must be a glass one we can buy somewhere.
Okay, David, I'm balanced.
Okay, so tailbone is tucked, so she's not arching yet. And then see how her back is rounding because she's reaching forward to hook under the knee. But now she's going to try to lift her chest through that rounding. And we've talked about this before, but this is a really powerful movement where you're posterior tilt and then trying to get more like a thoracic extension. And then the chin comes down and the gaze is towards the nose. It's 5 breaths here. This is the first position, Ashtanga. And then on Nava, the right arm is going to go over, right? Just like the right leg is over. So the right arm comes over. And then the left arm comes into extension. So this right shoulder is in flexion, and the left arm is in extension, inward rotation. And you're trying to catch your hands behind. And now Jelena's allowing the anterior tilt and more spinal extension to happen here, almost like a bit of a back bend. And that kind of goes with trying to join the hands together. Good. And lift the chin to aid in the extension as well. Yeah. Do you want to turn around? We can talk about the arm for a second.
And catch my breath.
You can even just sit normally.
I don't breathe for a second, like to.
Just sit normally and do your arm. And so we can just talk about this. Because I have trouble with this on one side I have a tight shoulder. So here, this is inward rotation to get the arm into position there. But we want to try to be able to hold the scapula back as we go in. So the scapula has to protract to get into that position, but then make sure to try to draw your shoulder back again to get the hand up your back. See, if your arm stays in that, or the shoulder stays forward in your protracted position, you're going to just be trying to bend your elbow to get your hand up your back. You'll feel a real limitation. If you can get the scapula to come back by pulling the whole shoulder back, then you can squeeze the scapula in and climb the arm up higher, right? Yeah. And then that arm, this right arm is stretching up, so you can see the scapula, the shoulder blade, protracts and lifts up, and then she's going to flex the elbow and bend and come down. That's it. And this elbow stays fairly close in towards the head. You're not trying to like make a bow, out to the sides like that. The arm is reaching up, and that's going to help keep the arm in a nice externally rotated position. Yeah.
So what makes this pose interesting is that your arms, the bottom one is doing internal rotation and then shoulder back. And then the top arm is doing external rotation and reaching from the scapula to catch. So we have 2 different rules being applied at once because one arm is below the shoulder and the other one's above the shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a video talking about these two principles, arm rotation in Ashtanga. We can link to it here. Yeah. Good rules to know to understand the work in all the different postures.
And so then that's like, I just wanted to emphasize, because that's the cool part. Once you learn these biomechanical rules, then you can apply them regardless of what the asana is. It wouldn't be something different. And then in this one specifically, you have two sides, each doing a different thing.
Yeah. Even outside of asana too, like if you're trying to put sunscreen on and you're doing your lower back, it's internal rotation, shoulder back. And sunscreen at the top of the back, it's external rotation. And reach up.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's fairly thorough.
Yeah, just again, come back to the legs. The legs are active. They're kind of squeezing together too. That would be one more tip. And then when I cross them, I try to make sure that I maintain this straight line. Don't let your legs and your whole body twist to the side. And this is what makes it super difficult, that you can't just collapse. And one of the ways we collapse is when that one foot slides further away. And then here, the legs are kind of squeezing together, but then there's also this relaxing component where you let yourself drop. And then coming back to here to maintain the balance. So, yeah, is that what you do?
Yeah, more or less. Okay.
Yeah, I still regularly fall out of this pose. When I do it, sometimes I'll just tip if I'm not paying attention or I get distracted. So it's interesting. Looks easy.
She's still learning. I never fall out of it. Okay, so that's it for today.
GOMUKHASANA.
GOMUKHASANA.
Let us know what you think. Let us know what you want to see. Follow, and we see you next time.
Bye.
Ciao.